Last week, Dylan Battistini made his Firestone Indy Lights debut in big style, winning his first ever race on an oval. Today in St. Petersburg, road course aces Rafael Matos and Richard Antonucci will be gunning for their first wins of 2008. It's a doubleheader weekend. The Grand Prix of St. Petersburg is next. 0.5 of a second.
Three wide into one.
Wheel to wheel all the way through the corner.
Drag race to the finish. It is dead even.
Look at this.
Geographically, we're only a few hundred miles from where we were last week at Homestead Miami Speedway. Today in the streets of St. Petersburg. Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Jenkins, along with Robbie Buell, from the mile-and-a-half super speedway to the streets of St. Petersburg. Robbie, what are the challenges the drivers face today?
Well, those challenges couldn't be more extremes, from going from the high banks to the streets. From a driver's perspective, when you're running at a place like Homestead, you run 190 miles an hour, and it's a mental game, and it's finesse. Here on the streets, you're shifting 30 times a lap, you're accelerating, you're slowing, you got fast corners, you got slow corners, and it's a different kind of feedback that these drivers need to give their engineers to make a better, faster race car. So let's see who'll come out on top.
Rafael Matos will be the pole sitter for today's first race. He's standing by with Mike King.
Rafa Matos is 2 for 2 in poles this year in the Firestone Indy Lights Series. You are 2-0 at this racetrack. You won here twice in 2006. How confident are you today?
I'm very confident. I think we have a very strong car. We're the quickest car in qualifying, and we just need to concentrate. It's a long race. We have to put some good laps in the beginning of the race, trying to break the draft, and we'll see what happens.
Rafa, gusty winds out of the south. Is it going to affect things at all?
I think a little bit, yeah. I think we'll be much slower on the front straightaway and much quicker on the back straightaway.
Rafa Matos ready to get into the car. He's going to lead the field at the green flag here at St. Petersburg.
Thank you, Mike. Look forward to your reports from pit lane. At the top of your screen, we'll roll the starting lineup for you. And meanwhile, Robbie Buell can tell us what he thinks the keys to the race are going to be.
Well, the first key to this race is first lap survival. What I mean by that is everybody's a little anxious. You want to take advantage of the start of this race to capitalize on improving your position, but you got to be a little bit patient. The next one is power down. What I mean by power down is as you're coming off these slow corners and you want to get to full throttle, as the car creates grip, the sooner you can get to full throttle, the easier it is to pass somebody at the end of the straightaway. From there, restarts. Restarts are an opportunity where it bunches everybody up, where you're close, you can strike, and give yourself a little bit of improvement on the track.
40 laps of racing coming up here this afternoon in the first of two Indy Firestone Indy Lights action from the streets of St. Petersburg. Field looks well formed as they head down the straightaway and get the green flag. Here we go. Here they are into turn number one. A big shuffle. They go 4 and 5 wide. Matos is going to grab the lead as they come out of the corner. That's Antonucci right behind him. And looks like everybody is, oh, I spoke too soon. Bobby Wilson in car number 17 is sideways.
Wow, I was just about to say, everybody amazingly got through lap one. We said survival's the key to this, and then we saw his car sideways. It didn't look like Bobby was damaged. Let's see.
That is the 27 car of Rafa Matos. Right behind him is Richard Antonucci in car number 7. That Alex Lloyd drove last year to the Firestone Indy Lights Championship. Right behind him is Anna Beatrice, looking good here in the early going. She's in the green and white car number 20, and right behind her is J.R. Hildebrand.
Everybody really is showing some pretty good patience here. Get in your rhythm, get your tire temperature up, see what your competition has, get your strengths and weaknesses. And this front group that we're looking right now, they've done it. They've survived that first lap. Now it's time to get busy and size up your competition.
Behind Hildebrand is the yellow and white car that is being driven by Jeff Simmons, and they're going to pull a full course caution here because of Bobby Wilson. He went off course again, so.
Yeah, that's turn 5. So it was in turn 2 where we saw him spin at the beginning of this race. And, he actually had a very good qualifying effort, qualifying 4th. They missed the morning practice with a motor issue, so some frustration from the driver. Take a look
at what happened here. Bobby was trying to catch up with the field, and he spins again.
Yeah, and really what brings that on is we just got the green flag. He hasn't even completed one lap yet. So the tires aren't up to temperature. They're not up to pressure, and he was just pushing to get caught up. You know, part of when you're in that cockpit, in that helmet, and here you are wanting to impress the IndyCar teams, you're pushing, and he's already behind. He's at the back of the pack, and he's saying some choice words to himself right now, for sure.
Bobby Wilson finished 17th at the opener at Homestead Miami Speedway. This was his 30th consecutive start. That tops the list of drivers making consecutive starts in the Firestone Indy Lights Series. A full course caution out on the streets of St. Petersburg. We'll be back with more in a moment. The Firestone Indy Lights race. Welcome back to St. Petersburg and the Firestone Indy Lights. First of two races, and we are about to go back green from our first caution, which was brought out by Bobby Wilson, actually spinning twice in the opening lap. Green is back out, and here we go. That's Motto still leading, Antonucci second, but look at Anna Beatrice. Look to the inside of Antonucci, trying to get second position. Hildebrand follows, followed by Jeff Simmons, then Andrew Prendeville, James Davison, Ari Lyondike Jr., Cindy Alleman on board with Antonucci.
And here we are heading right into turn 4. This is a good passing zone right as they head into turn 4. This is all second gear. Watch them work the wheel through. A little bit of bumpiness right there. Now it gets real dark, little braking. Again, we're still in second gear. We're looking up in front there. That's the leader of the race, Rafa. Up through the gearbox. You got a fast left-hand kink here. And now we come into probably the second best passing zone, turn 10. Right here, hard on the brakes, down to second gear. Watch how close he gets to this wall coming out. Bam, right next to the Acura signs. Fourth gear, flat out, quick S's here, 11 and 12. Look at him work the wheel, downshift a couple times, turn 2. Now here's where it's important to put the power down. The sooner he can get to full throttle, obviously, the quicker he's gonna close up on the car in front of him. Power down, big deal. Looking backwards, we're looking back at Anna Beatrice driving for Sam Schmidt, and her first road course, by the way. It's a street course, first time with walls all around you. It's a different dynamic from just running a, you know, when we were at Watkins Glen or Mid-Ohio. Very different here on the streets.
She was impressive at Homestead Miami, the high-speed super speedway. She finished in 7th position, and now we have another car. That's Mitch Cunningham, who is making his series debut. He is the young brother of Wade Cunningham, and he has gone so far off course that he's into the tire barrier.
Yeah, that's turn 14. There's the big U we saw right there heading back onto the front straightaway, and it looks like he's got a little bit of damage, and we are full course yellow. And well, we saw where he was stuck in that tire wall, and anytime there's a car that's in view or other cars can get to, you're always going to go to full course yellow till they can get him cleaned up.
Second caution comes out on lap number 5 of the race. So we've already been interrupted twice here in the first 5 laps. Last year, this race was interrupted by 3 cautions for a total of 14 laps. Well, 21-year-old Cindy Alleman grew up snowboarding in the mountains of Switzerland, but she left that behind to pursue a career in the IndyCar Series. Now a resident of Florida, Cindy is enjoying the adjustment to life in the U.S. both on and off the track.
When I came here, I have to say it. Even if sometimes it's difficult to be far from my family, I really enjoy and I have a lot of fun to be here. I always say the dream go on because when I arrived here, I come from snow and it was big sun, it was more than 80 degrees. I have the beach 10 minutes from where I live. It's always sunshine and I really enjoy it. Okay, let's go!
Take it over your shoulder.
Yeah, but I will eat you.
Nah, don't worry about me. And when you fling it, let your finger out. There you go, look, way out there.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Take it one time. IndyCar racer, professional fisherman.
I had a good teacher. My dad was a driver when he was young. And then when my brother and me was born, he stopped because we wanted to drive. And my dad was the mechanic of my brother. And as we were working together, my mother was my mechanic. So it was very good time, and we won some races together. So it's just perfect. I think this year for me the biggest challenge will be to get the respect of my concurrents, because in Europe everybody knows me and here I am new, nobody knows me. So for sure first it will be to show that I am fast even if I am a girl, and when I am in the car they have to forget that I am a girl and that I am just a driver. But I realize that I am very lucky, and I think for my age it's an incredible experience to live what I'm living now. So that's what I say, I take all what I can, really, and I enjoy life.
On pit lane with John Lewis from American Spirit Racing. John, Cindy started 11th. She is now 9th, but you're having problems talking to her. What kind of hindrance is that right now?
Yeah, we're having a little bit of a communication problem, but she's just holding her own right now, trying to let the race come to her. A lot to go, a lot of racing to do, so she's holding her own.
She's new to this series. She's new to this team. Seems to be adapting very well, though.
She's doing a great job. I couldn't be happier to have a driver like her behind the wheel of my car.
It's John Lewis, American Spirit Racing. Bob?
We are going green once again in the streets of St. Petersburg. And look again at Anna Beatrice going to the inside of Antonucci as they race down into turn number 1. Is she going to get second position? Yes, she does.
Excellent pass. She got up alongside him right before they got the braking zone. Very clean, and she's in second place, chasing down Rafa.
Wow. Anna Beatrice goes to second position. Now J.R. Hildebrand is right on the rear wing of Antonucci, looking for third position. That's Jeff Simmons in the yellow and white car, making his return to the Firestone Indy Lights Series. He, of course, ran a lot of the season last year in the IndyCar Series for Rahal Letterman Racing, but is back in the Firestone Indy Lights Series.
And Jeff has done a really good job. It took him about all of 10 laps to get back in this car and up to speed. Really impressive. Driving for Tom Wood and Mark Moore, that's a very well-prepared car. They've been around this series for some time in the Firestone Indy Lights, so they know how to put a good car out there. He obviously knows how to drive one of these. He's won a total of, I think, 7 races in his career here, so he knows how to get it done.
And right behind him is Andrew Prendeville, driving car number 5. And behind him is Ari Lyondike Jr.
I'm amazed. As we just had that shot looking down the front straightaway, everybody was just in line. Nobody was teasing anybody and sneaking out and trying to fill the mirrors and have them miss their braking point or anything like that. It was amazing.
There's Prendeville, car number 5, as he pursues the yellow and white car driven by Jeff Simmons.
Prendeville drives for Rahal Letterman Anderson Racing. They were new on the scene here last year in the Firestone Indy Lights Series. Really polished team, very good teammates, as you say, with JR. I had looked for these guys to win this year. Looking down, there's a little teasing. That's what I was talking about. That was James Davison just looking down the inside of Prendeville, trying to force him into a little bit of a mistake. Not going to make the pass, just teasing him into it.
Davison from Melbourne, Australia, driving car number 11 for Sam Schmidt Motorsports, finished 22nd at the opener at Homestead Miami Speedway. But he may take a shot at Andrew here as they move down the straightaway into turn 1. Nope.
Now you got to be, right where we just saw him cross the stripe of the start-finish line. You really got to be starting to make your move at that point. If we see a car length or 2 in between cars at the start-finish line, it's going to be a very risky pass if they try and pull it out after that.
Now Davison was involved in a qualifying incident with Dylan Battistini, who won last week at Homestead Miami. Davison was allowed to maintain his 7th starting position, but Battistini was penalized 3 positions and started back in 15th. And we'll take a look at that incident. This again was during qualifying, and
that's Battistini in the black car, and basically what happened there, obviously he got into the wall, but as James was coming up behind him, tapped him from behind, spun him, but I think what they said is Dylan slowed up, therefore there was a contact. And what they've done with the rules now is if you bring out a full course yellow in qualifying, you get penalized because that takes away time from the rest of the competitors. So they're going to dock you if you bring out that full course yellow, and that's what happened.
Battistini is currently running in 11th position. Watching James Davison and Andrew Prendeville running in the 6th and 7th spots here as 11 of 40 laps have been completed. And there is the leader, Matos. Anna Beatrice continuing to hang on to 2nd spot. Antonucci back there in 3rd.
Teammates right here, when we look at Anna Beatrice, everybody calls her Bia. In talking to her crew guys, they say Bia's going to win a race this year. They've been very impressed with all her feedback in the race car, what she's done, what her focus is. But looking at Anna being chased there by Antonucci, both driving for Sam Schmidt. A little bit of pressure for Antonucci. He's in the 7 car that Alex Lloyd drove here last year, the champion. And Alex won both those races. So that's a little extra pressure that he gets, I'm sure, from the boys over at Sam Schmidt Racing.
Anna Beatrice is from Sao Paulo, Brazil, and last year competed for Team Brazil in the A1GP, making her way into the Firestone Indy Lights Series for 2008 and doing so very impressively. She has about a car length and a half advantage on Richard Antonucci, who's running in 3rd spot in that number 7 car. And Anna is about 2.3 seconds behind the leader, Rafael Matos, on board with Antonucci as he chases Anna.
And this is going into turn 4. Ooh, we saw a little bit of brake lock up there. You know, now what Richard has to be saying to himself, hey, maybe I broke her concentration. The fact she's locking up the brakes a little bit, maybe I am pushing her. So the closer he can stay and fill her mirrors, the better chance he can force her into a little bit of mistake. For example, we're coming into another good passing zone. So right now, if she can miss, if Anna misses her brake point by a little bit, that may create a little bit of a window for Richard to sneak by and get along inside. But anytime you race on a street circuit, it's hard to pass. It's always hard to pass.
And a full course caution once again. It's a local right now, not a full course, but it's for Bobby Wilson once again. And things just have not gone well for the Florida resident. The leader is Rafael Matos. Back in a moment. 25 laps completed here at St. Petersburg, of 40 that make up this first of 2 races for the Firestone Indy Lights Series at St. Petersburg, Florida. The leader is Rafael Matos. He's led all the way. Richard Antonucci has taken back his 2nd position from Anna Beatrice, who is 3rd. Then J.R. Hildebrand and Jeff Simmons running in the top 5.
And then we're looking at Rafa, just went by a lap car there. That was freak. He had a little incident later, got into the back wall, so he's down a lap. But now that we finally settled into a little bit of rhythm here, we see Antonucci just back there in the red and white car. He's in 2nd spot. The 2 of these guys have broken away from 3rd. There's Richard right there. They've broken away from the 3rd place car of Bia right now. And that doesn't surprise me because these 2 guys were 7/10 clear of that 3rd place car in qualifying. So definitely this is where the speed was, and these 2 cars were watching. Now, can Antonucci get close enough to put any pressure on Matos? Doesn't look like it right now.
The separation is 2.2 seconds from 1st to 2nd, and then from 2nd to 3rd position is about 5 seconds. So there is Antonucci as he sets up for turn number 14. Again, got that lap car ahead of him. Meanwhile, Matos just continues to drive away. Matos won twice here in the streets of St. Petersburg in '06 as we see Antonucci go to the inside of that lap car and put it a lap down. Here's the 3rd place car of Anna Beatrice. Right behind her is J.R. Hildebrand, and then the number 2 of Jeff Simmons, who's running 5th.
We saw Hildebrand's car as he's putting the power down, just stepped out a little bit. So, you know, as the race goes on, these tires wear down. They have less and less grip. And if Jeff Simmons in that yellow and white car can keep pressure on JR, there may be a window where he can get his nose on him on the inside, outbrake him, take that position away.
After the races here in the streets of St. Petersburg, our next venue is back to a super speedway. That would be Kansas Speedway. Firestone Indy Lights return to that circuit, and you can see the race on May 1st at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. Our attention right now, however, focused on the streets of St. Petersburg, and Rafael Matos, or Rafa as he is called, has dominated big time so far in this race with just about 2 laps to go, less than 2 laps to go. He has led all the way and has a 3.1 second advantage over Richard Antonucci.
And he has not put a wheel wrong. Just, you know, everything he's doing out there looks smooth. You never see the car step out. He's just squeezing on the throttle. The car looks stable under braking, and he hasn't put it, you know, he hasn't missed a mark out on the track at all.
When he won here in 2006, both races, he led 68 of the 80 laps. And if he continues to finish the race in first position, and there's no reason why he shouldn't unless he has serious trouble here on the final lap, he will have led 108 of 120 laps here in St. Petersburg. Very impressive performance.
And the first time that he ever got into one of these cars was prior to dominating here when he won his first race. You know, he'd only been in the car for a half a day of testing, showed up here, dominated, won both events.
He, of course, is the Champ Car Atlantic champion from last year, but made the decision to come to the Firestone Indy Lights Series, and it was a very wise decision. That 54 car of Mickey Gilbert is running in 16th, so 16 cars are going to finish on the lead lap, make that 15 as he goes to the inside and takes the checkered flag to win the first race here at St. Petersburg. Rafael Matos, in an outstanding performance, leads all 40 laps as Alex Lloyd did last year. But now remember, the number of cars inverted will be determined in victory lane. Just a few moments from now, he will draw a pill to determine the inversion positions for race number 2. Down to Mike King.
So Rafa Matos, who has started on pole in the first 2 Firestone Indy Lights events of 2008, wins this one, going away from pole. Rafa, you have now led 90% of 3 races that you have run here. You are 3 for 3 on the streets of St. Pete. You must like this place.
Yeah, I love this place. It's a great atmosphere. Everything is working perfect with the AFS Andretti team, and you know, I just can't thank enough those guys. Thank Mike Andretti, King Grimm, Kevin Saver, you know, Gary Peterson. Thank our sponsors, AFS, also Fresh, everyone that has been supporting us this year. Just a great feeling. First victory of the year for us. Hopefully we can repeat tomorrow again.
You led all 40 laps. Let's find out where you're going to start, because we're going to have to do the draw. Roger Bailey is the executive director of the Firestone Indy Lights Series. Here is the draw. So Rafa will either draw a 0, a 2, a 4, a 6, or an 8. That's going to tell us how many drivers will be inverted. 4. Is that right? 4. That's the number that is drawn. So Rafa Matos will go off 4th in race number 2 here at St. Petersburg. Bob?
That means that Jeff Simmons will start on the pole, and we can see if Matos will be able to roll through the field and win the second race. Stay with us. That second race from St. Petersburg coming up in just a moment.